long travel extravaganza. Daddy, there's a man in our room. And I honestly think I can move here.
How incredible is this view?
Hi friends, and welcome back to another reading vlog. Today is the exciting day because I am about to leave for David's house, where we are going to be headed to Atlanta to catch a flight to all sorts of exciting and new places. We are going to be going to New York City, which I have never been to before, and meeting up with Lexi and Kaylee. I am so hyped to be meeting them for the first time. Then we're going to be going through like Salem and spending a little bit of time there before heading up to Bar Harbor, Maine. And again, I have never been to any of these places, and I am so excited to be taking this trip and feel incredibly grateful that I'm able to do it. And of course, I'm going to take you guys along with me. I'm not going to be completely doing like 150% travel vlog, although this is probably going to be like 80% travel, 20% reading. But I am planning to read while on this trip because we do have 20 hours of driving on this trip, and that doesn't count the flying part. So I do plan to read at least a little bit while I'm doing that, and I'm going to have either David, Lexi, Kaylee, somebody is going to be picking me a book when we're in New York City. Hopefully Lexi or Kaylee will be grabbing me something that they want me to buy and read while I'm on the trip. So I don't know what I'm going to be reading yet. You guys probably already know because it's likely in the thumbnail, but that is my plan for this week, is to have a great time, read a little bit of books, and just enjoy the moment, document these memories. I think it is going to be a great time. So I'm gonna go get in the car, and I will see you guys at our first stop in Atlanta. We are tired, but we are here. We are on the first leg stop in Atlanta, where we are going to be spending the night before we get on a flight to New York City tomorrow, and I could not be more excited, honestly. I am exhausted, and I'm not looking forward to being up at what is basically 4:30 our time tomorrow, but that's okay, because it's gonna be a good day. Tomorrow we are going to be, like I said, heading to New York City first, and then we will be meeting up with Lexi and Kaylee, and I am so excited to get to meet them. I've never met either one of them in person, and I cannot be more excited for our meetup. I'm hoping that we can go to the Strand because I want either David or Lexi or Kaylee, somebody, to pick me out a book to read for this trip. And then we're also going to go to like a local bar that's set up for where like the college team that we root for, nobody cares about that. I think that's pretty much all we've got planned for tomorrow. I am not currently reading anything for this vlog because, like I said, I want somebody to pick it out for me while we're at the Strand. I am reading something for the 5-star vlog, and that's Book of Azrael. It's going fine. I'll let you guys know a little bit more about that in the other vlog, but right now David's got on a couple of football games. I am going to go take off my makeup and unwind because it is going to be very early tomorrow, but I cannot believe that the Maine trip is finally here. You guys have heard me talk about it for weeks, months now, and it's here, and I cannot be more excited, and I literally cannot wait. I hope I can sleep tonight. That was a long travel extravaganza, which I will tell you more about later because we are actually in a hurry. We are on our way to go meet Kaylee and Lexi. I'm so excited to finally get to meet them, but we just got into the room and I kind of wanted to quickly show you guys because it's really cool. We've got just a little seat chair over here, good bed, little area, and then this, like, what the heck? Look at this. This is so cool. I mean, you can't see much, but that's okay. It's somewhere to stand out. It's cool. Okay, but yeah, that's all I really have time for right now because, like I said, we are in a pretty big hurry, but I will update you on the travel extravaganza once we get sat down a little bit. But for now, let's go meet Kaylee and Lexi.
Till the morning, you never know when it is over. All that I know is we'll get older. So let us dance this night away.
Like, I'm not pulling up.
Bodies move to the groove and the light that flickers. We get lost in the crowd, it's getting thicker. We get get away from the drinks and chatter. Haven't said a word, but it doesn't matter. Feel the air get thinner. I'm standing in a blurry dream. No one else can see us. Live your life within the moment. And don't go wait until the morning. You never know when it is over. All that I know is we'll get older. So let us dance this night away. Feel the air get thinner. I'm standing in a blurry dream. No one else can see us. So let us dance this night away.
Lexi, what am I reading this week?
You should get this and read it with me.
I can do that. Let me go find
Kaylee
it.
can
Wait,
read it too.
I gotta find it. It's downstairs. Guess what? Guess what I've got Kaylee to buy.
Oh, hi friends. I can now actually set up my tripod, sit down, and say hello to you. It has been a whirlwind of a day. First, we started off with getting up super early to catch our flight. Got there like 2.5 hours early standard, and the TSA line was backed up for, I don't know, it was a 2-hour wait just to get like to the checkpoint where you could even go through like security. And so we missed our flight by like 10 minutes. And so we ended up having to wait about 3 or 4 hours and miraculously got on the next nonstop flight. So we made it to New York. It just took a little bit longer than we expected. So we went to the bar that you guys saw. We met up with Kaylee and Lexi, and then we went and got some insomnia cookies. So honestly, just fuel for the day. So when we went with Lexi and Kaylee, we first went in the Strand, which I had never been in. I just wanted to get the experience of the Strand because that's something that you can only do in New York. It was cool, but I think it just reminded me of a really like busy half-price books, honestly. So we ended up not getting anything in there, even though they had a great selection. And we went over to a Barnes & Noble that was close, and it is 4 stories. That's insane. Like, my Barnes & Noble is just 1 room, and this was 4 stories of the 1 room. It was incredible. And they had such an amazing selection. Honestly, they had books I'd never even heard of before. It was fantastic. But I ended up only getting 1 book because I don't want it to get damaged on my way home. And it was also triple points, so that's even better. And this is going to be the book that I am reading for the rest of the week. I wanted a book that was short enough that I could finish it this week, but also give me something that fit the vibes for me to read. And I wanted Lexi or Kaylee to pick it out for me, because what better way to pick a book than have someone else do it for me, especially good friends that I'm getting to meet for the first time. Lexi picked for me Let Him In by William Friend. This one I have had on my radar for a little while. I actually do think I have the audio copy of this from NetGalley, which is even better. And I don't know really anything about this. I know it was blurbed by Nat Cassidy, who wrote Mary, and I absolutely loved. It's blurbed by Darcy Coates, who obviously I absolutely love. And so let's find out what this is about. It says, "Daddy, there's a man in our room." Even that, just freaky. So basically it's about a guy that walks into his twin daughter's bedroom, and they claim that there is a man sitting at the foot of their bed. He doesn't see anything, and so he just assumes that they had a nightmare. And he's not really surprised that they're having some issues, because grief can make people do some really and see some really weird things. And apparently their mother died unexpectedly, leaving him to raise his children alone. So he figures it's like a coping mechanism. But when things just continue to get worse and worse and worse, he calls upon Pippa's sister, their mom's sister, who is also a psychiatrist, and he starts getting haunted by visions, and someone's watching him at night. Whatever this friend is, he doesn't want to leave, and he's gonna have to confront his own secrets and the dark past of Hart House, and even the bonds of reality, and risk taking part in an unspeakable tragedy. I don't know, it sounds interesting. It's not super long, so I think it'll be good for like a vacation read. And this cover, you guys, the cover is terrifying. So I'm really excited to read this I don't know how much I can read, but I'm hoping I can read the whole thing this week. So I think that that's basically everything for tonight. I am going to be going to bed here pretty soon because I'm exhausted and my legs are killing me. We walked like, I don't know, 12,000 steps today and I feel like my legs are gonna fall off. But tomorrow we're gonna be doing a like half day tour because I've never been to New York. David's been a couple of times, but I don't know if he's done like the super touristy stuff. So we're gonna go to like Times Square, the Statue of Liberty, and all that kind of fun stuff on like a half day tour. And then I think after that we're gonna go to the Vanderbilt, which is like this overlook spot for New York City, which should be gorgeous. We're gonna do it, I think, at sunset. And then after that, I think we're gonna meet up with Lexi, Kaylee, and Kaylee's roommate Rebecca again to eat dinner and just hang out one last time before we head into Salem on Monday. So obviously I will take you guys all along for that, but I think that's my check-in for now. I am going to go to bed.
was killed by a pie to the face. What day is March 14th? Pie Day! Ha ha!
Yeah.
Captured in a photograph. Remember how we used to sit in the vines? Yeah. Oh, and I can hear you laugh it off. You always said mistakes I left in the past.
Hi friends, change of scenery for you guys. We are leaving New York and headed to Sleepy Hollow today. We picked up our rental car this morning, and this rental car is nice. I will show you guys in a second, but I don't know if David paid upgrades or what, but we're driving a BMW and it's quite nice, quite cozy. But we are about 20 minutes from Sleepy Hollow. I don't know what all we're gonna do there. I think we're just gonna kind of wander around, honestly, and maybe get some lunch. And then from there, we will have a 3-hour drive up to Salem, Massachusetts. And we're gonna be staying in the Salem, like, general area tonight. But we have a ghost tour that I am super excited about. It's like a candlelit ghost tour. I think we're gonna try to go and see, like, where Hocus Pocus was filmed and a couple of different things like that. I have a list of, like, places to eat and places you can go for drinks and things like that. So I'm sure we'll hit up something like that. But I will take you guys along with me, show you a couple of different places what we get up to. But yeah, I think that's about everything. You excited?
Yeah.
You excited?
Yeah.
As you're yawning? Okay. It was really hard to get up this morning. My legs feel like jello and I have bruises in places I did not even know I could get, and my feet are dying. But you know what? I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it. The 18,000 steps yesterday was a little bit rough, but 18,000 steps is nothing?
No.
Well, it's not for you. You're a postal worker. I'm dying.
Tuesday.
But we will talk to you guys later once we find something cool to do.
Captured in a photograph. Remember how we used to sit in the vines? Yeah. Oh, and I can hear you laugh it off. You always said mistakes I left in the past.
So I absolutely love this town. It is so, like, quiet and cute, and I honestly think I could move here. I do. I think I could live here. There's, like, nobody here, no tourists. We're walking along the Hudson River. It is so cute. There's, like, a little town square, which I think I showed you guys, and it just gives me Gilmore Girl vibes. And I always want to live in a Gilmore Girls vibe world. So having a great time. David's saying you. I'm having a great time. Anyway, we'll ignore David and we're gonna go back to exploring. Good morning. I am using the natural light from outside because hotel room lighting is terrible. But we are on our second hotel and third location so far. We are actually staying at a seaside town a little north of Salem. And yesterday we did Salem and Sleepy Hollow, and I'll talk to you guys about that in just a minute. But first I wanted to tell you that I did get about 30% of the way through Let Him In. Yeah, Let Him In by William Friend. And this is following Dad Alfie, whose wife recently passed away and left him to care for his two twin daughters alone. And they're all kind of dealing with the grief of this and trying to figure out how they move on from the loss of his wife because it was quite sudden. And one day the twins walk in his room and they say, "Daddy, there's a man in our room." Of course he panics and he goes in the room and there's nobody there. And this happens for a while and then they just kind of stop mentioning it. And then they start to mention this imaginary friend who can turn into a snake. Come to find out, it's the same thing. The guy can turn into a snake, but now they're not scared of him anymore. And he gets really concerned and turns to his wife's sister, who is a therapist, and she had sworn she wasn't going to treat her nieces, but then things get really, really strange, and she decides that she is going to treat them. And you hear her say a couple of different times, "Oh goodness, it's happening again." And you assume that there's something that happened in that house, because it is their childhood home that Alfie is living in. You assume that there's something that happened in that house previously that's very similar to what is happening now. And I'm intrigued by it. I won't say that I'm just absolutely obsessed with it, but I am intrigued by it. Mostly just what I'm having a little bit of a hard time, I think, was the writing style at first. It's just very, I don't know, simplistic is not a good word, but I did not love the writing style. So I did decide to do the audiobook because I had that one from NetGalley, and I do like the audiobook a bit better. It is dual perspective because we have Alfie and Julia. I think it's Julia. And the narrators are different. We have a female and a male narrator for those. And I think I'm liking it so far. It's different. It's definitely a little more domestic than I thought it was going to be. I don't normally love books about children, but I also like creepy children. So I was hoping this one would work for me. We do have a little bit of the creep factor in so far. This is only an 8-hour audiobook, so 30% is a decent bit of the way in. But once I read a little bit more, hopefully I'll have more thoughts for you guys, because right now I'm just mostly intrigued, but don't have a lot of strong feelings about it either way. Like, it's fine. The characters are meh. I definitely like the character of the sister better than I do Alfie. He just kind of seems there, and I don't really understand his motivations and why he's freaking out right now, other than people do weird things during their times of grieving, so maybe that's what it is. But yeah, so there is my first Bookish update for you guys. I know you have been waiting on that. But let's quickly talk about Sleepy Hollow and Salem. You guys probably saw a little bit of B-roll of that already, or you will here in a second. But we went to Sleepy Hollow first, and it is the cutest little quiet town. I really expected it to be really leaning into the hustle and bustle of the Headless Horseman and just there to be a ton of tourists, and there really wasn't. We first got there early and walked by like the Hudson River and then walked all the way back up to the cemetery. Once we got back up to the cemetery, it did get a bit busier, but for the most part, it's just a really quiet, cool town. It's got like a town square. There's a spot by the river, and then you can go like a little further out that's got more normal quote-unquote type stuff. It was really cute. I liked it a lot. And then we got to Salem. We drove about 4.5 hours because traffic was horrible to get to Salem. We really wanted to do a lot more in Salem than we actually did. I didn't get to go to the like witch house and where Hocus Pocus was filmed like I had planned to, but we did go on the ghost tour, and that was fun. We got to learn a little bit more about the history of the town, where certain things were located when they dug up different parts of what happened during the witch trial, and got to see like the memorial for the women that were killed there on site. That was a lot of fun, but not fun because it was a horrific event, but it was really cool to hear. And then we just kind of wandered around a little bit because Salem has a really cool like downtown area. It's very tight knit and it's really, really cool. The outskirts of it, there's not as much to see, but in the inskirts, very cool. So we did that for a little while. It had gotten quite late. It was dark, so there wasn't a ton to be able to see. And then we drove, like I said, up here to this Cape Side town, and we just literally came in and went to bed. So I will show you guys the view from our hotel room here in just a second because it is absolutely gorgeous. And honestly, I'm kind of sad that we can't just sit out on the balcony for a couple of hours, but I don't know if we're going to try to go back to Salem to do some of the stuff that we didn't get to do yesterday. It is a half-hour drive back over there, so I don't know if we're going to want to waste the time, and then it's a 4-hour drive from here to Bar Harbor. So we'll see what we end up doing. Not really sure. If we do end up driving just straight to Bar Harbor, I may listen to a little bit of more of Let Him In. I'm hoping I can get to at least 50-ish% today or tomorrow, so once I have done that, I will check back in with you guys, but so far far, we are honestly having a great time. I am going to go see if he's about to get out of the shower and we're going to hit the day running. What it's going to consist of, I do not know, but once I do, I'll let you guys know. But first, let me show you what our view looks like outside because it is gorgeous.
Okay, so this is our view. Look at this. How incredible is this view? Like, you just hear the waves. I could sit out here and drink a cup of coffee for hours.
Stay here.
So your tears been running like a waterfall. Thought the stars would never let you down. And you keep on thinking you could save yourself. But that's love, that's just love. You should know some things will hurt, and you'll end up getting burned. I just hope that you will learn. That's just love, that's just love. You will get back up again, even if you don't know when. And it feels like the world is coming down on you. You have to move on, deal with your broken heart. No matter what you think, you'll never ever get enough of love.
Good morning, everyone. David said, oh no, when I pulled out the camera, which was quite rude, actually.
Enjoying the song.
Enjoying the song. Yeah, I told him we'd get a copyright claim. But we are currently in Acadia National Park, and it is absolutely gorgeous here. The leaves are changing. It's like a cool 58 degrees. And honestly, it's not as crowded as I thought it was going to be. I mean, I figured there'd be a lot more people. It's like a cruise ship docked here or something. But anyway, I'm going to bring you along with us, let you guys experience it with us. It is absolutely gorgeous. I don't know what all we're going to find. We're going to do Cadillac Mountain, which apparently is like the highest point and the first place in the whole nation you can see the sunrise. And we won't be there for sunrise, but I think we'll get some really good views out of it. And I am super excited. No reading updates. This is just a, hey, we're on an adventure update. So I guess let's go. morning, friends. It is Thursday morning, and I don't think that I have updated you guys since we got into Bar Harbor. I do have a book update for you guys on Let Him In, but before I do that, let me tell you guys a little bit about what we've been up to for the last couple of days. We came in late on Monday evening, got some dinner, just scrambled to get back to our hotel, so didn't really get a chance to update you guys Monday, and then Tuesday we hit the ground running, went to Acadia National Park, and honestly, you guys, it is gorgeous up there. It is so pretty. We took tons of pictures, drove around the whole park, and then went up on what they call Cadillac Mountain. We did make it just before the fog rolled in, because once we got up there, we were able to spend like 15-20 minutes on top of the mountain overlooking everything, and then it started to rain, and so the fog and the clouds rolled in, and you really couldn't see anything anymore, but we got super lucky and we were able to see everything. Came down, just looked at some foliage, took some really good cliffside pictures. It was a lot of fun, and I cannot believe how beautiful it is up here. One thing I wanted to do is see a moose, and I did not get to see a moose, unfortunately. I have never seen a moose in real life, so I wanted to see a moose. And then I thought that they had more bear up here than I think they actually do. We did not see a whole lot of wildlife. I did find 2 ducks playing in a pond area, but that was about it. So no real wildlife other than seagulls, but that's okay. We still had a great time. And then after that, we went shopping on the town a little bit, the little downtown area. So let me show you guys what I got. They have a lot of like the I Love New York type places around here, so we were trying to avoid those and went in this place called the Beehive, which seemed to be a little bit more local, like trading post kind of stuff. And I did get this hoodie that says Acadia. I think that this is super cute. I'm gonna wear it today. And then I also got just my and my mom's a t-shirt that just says Maine. So that's what I got as far as just clothing. I don't know if I'm going to buy a whole lot more than that, just because I spent too much money. And then we went in Maine's oldest bookstore, which is Sherman's. Could I have bought all of these books at home? Yes. But I wanted to support a local business. And this place actually, it was so cute. It had like a rolling ladder. It was old, had creaky floors, but it wasn't a used bookstore. I thought it was going to be a used bookstore where you like went in and people were doing buy, sell, trade, but it wasn't. It was actually a lot of like new releases and brand new books. And I was surprised at how many new releases they had. I knew when I walked in and their like staff picks included Rage of Dragons that we were going to be in the right place. They had a pretty good fantasy science fiction section, but unfortunately the horror was a little bit harder to find because it was mixed in with the fiction section. And so I was scrounging trying to find some horror, but I didn't find a ton of horror. I did get one thing. First thing I want to show you guys though is called The Flight of the Wren by Winter Fox. I've never heard of this book before, and I looked it up on Goodreads, and actually it's really good reviews. I want to say this may be a self-published book. It looks like a self-published book. I don't see any like publishing markers on it, and the back says winterfox.com. I think it's self-published, and I did not realize when I bought it that it is signed. That is so cool. Okay, well, I did not realize that when I bought this, but this is an author from Maine, so that is super exciting. I think she's from just a little bit north of here in Southeast Harbor, but like, that's incredible. I did not realize that when I bought it. I think this is like a Norse mythology type fantasy book. It says that there is a woman who's a shaman's apprentice. She returns from the forest to find that the Norsemen have destroyed her home and taken all of the survivors as slaves. So she wants to go and try to free her people, so she travels to the land of the giants and must use all of her lore and craft to survive. Then we also have a prince who is the pupil of Jomska Vikings. His wife works with her magic to ensure the future of the king. So we have several different corners of Scandinavia, and there is battles, there is magic. It says there might be even a little bit of romance. It sounds interesting, and like I said, it got really good reviews, so I did decide to pick that one up. And then obviously the book that I could have bought at home is Midnight is the Darkest Hour by Ashley Winstead. This one is one that I have been wanting for a little while. I really liked her The Last Housewife. I can't remember if I gave it a 3 or 4 star, but I had a good time with it. And this one is about a killer that hunts a small southern town, and there's like a preacher's daughter and a boy from the wrong side of the tracks. And I think this is going to be like religious undertones, because it says that the only thing the townspeople fear more than God and the devil are the town's myths that haunt the area, like the Low Man, who is a vampiric figure said to steal into sinners' bedrooms and kill them on moonless nights. It sounds really good. I do want to read this. It sounds like a good spooky season amazing book, so I grabbed that one. And then I also grabbed Black Sheep by Rachel Harrison. They actually had several of the Rachel Harrison books, but I think this one's the one I am the most interested in. So I decided to grab this one. And this one is about a 20-something that is the black sheep of her family. She is not in a normal family, and she just is wanting to leave home, and she leaves at 18 and does not look back. But then when there's an envelope to her cousin's wedding, it's going to be hosted at the family farm, and she decides to go back. It says, when Vesper's homecoming exhumes a terrifying secret, she's forced to reckon with her family's beliefs and her own crisis of faith. So honestly, these two seem to have similar undertones. Anyway, that's what I got from there. Like I said, I wanted to support the smaller business, and I did not need to buy these books. I hope that I can get them home in one piece, but yeah, that's what we did. So I've literally been talking for 6 minutes, so let me give you a quick update on Let Him In. This one I'm about halfway through with so far, and I still like it. I think for me, there are a few too many domestic moments. We have our creepy moments. There are definitely some really creepy moments in here where we're talking about this Black Mamba. Yeah, that's the name of it. So there's talk about this Black Mamba, and obviously this is the girl's imaginary friend, but you assume that there's a little bit more to it than that. And one of the daughters starts to end up with bruises and things like that. There's also other undertones of what could have happened in the previous house. But outside of these creepier moments with the children, there is a lot of domestic about the aunt being in love with her sister's husband, and how the daughters aren't getting along with their dad, and how grief is. And I think that that is not a problem to include in here. I just wish that it was a little bit more paced a little bit better, I guess, because we put a lot of the creepy stuff up front, which is fine. You want to hook me, but then we kind of leave it. I don't know. It's paced a little bit weirdly for me, but I am still enjoying it. I think it's written fine. I don't really love any of the characters. I find them pretty flat, but that's okay. So other than that, I am liking this one, but I am hoping more from it, a little bit more into the legend of Black Mamba. Like, where did this creature come from, and why is it there, that kind of stuff, you know, just to give me a little bit more creep than the girls talking about him, because right now that's all we're doing. And while children are creepy, don't get me wrong, I just wish that there was just a little bit more than that. But again, this book is super short. I don't anticipate having any trouble finishing it on the car ride home. I might even finish it tonight before we leave. If I do, I will let you guys know. But yeah, I think that that is all of my updates for now. We are having a great time. Today, I think the plan is to go on a, I don't know if we're going to get to go on the sunset nature cruise, or if we're just going on the like nature cruise on a boat. So I'm hoping I don't freeze to death, because it's not warm here, and I don't know if this is going to be enough, but we're going to try. But I think that's only at like 2 o'clock, so I don't know what we're going to do before that. Maybe go get some breakfast at a local diner, walk around the downtown a little bit more, just drive around, explore, and then obviously we'll eat dinner tonight, pack up, and get ready to make the 8-hour drive from Bar Harbor to New York tomorrow, which I am not particularly looking forward to. David likes to stop every, I don't know, few minutes and like see what he can see. So we'll be out and about a lot, but I'm hoping we get back to New York relatively early, because the flight is at 7:40 in the morning, which means we have to be at the airport by like 5 or 5:30, which, ew. And if we miss our flight again, I will cry. So we're going to get there stupid early, and we're just going to be exhausted, and then we're going to have to drive home. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. We're having a great time. I'm not going to wish the week away, and I will talk to you guys later once we have gotten up to shenanigans today.
We're about to get on a boat. Are you ready for the boat?
Yes.
It's going to be a very, 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 very cold boat.
So many, I couldn't sleep.
Be good.
I watched so many.
Very cold boat.
I kept watching it.
Cold
They
boat.
had so many channels.
No.
Yeah. So many.
Are you ready? No, you're not smiling. Videoing. Are you ready? It's going to be very, very cold. I'm not ready. made it through the boat cruise and we did not die of frozation. I guess that's a word, frozation. But I had fun. Did you have fun?
Yes.
Did you like our tour guide?
Yes.
What was the most interesting thing you learned?
Interesting thing or a bunch of stuff.
What was the most interesting thing you learned?
That,
Hurry up, arm's getting tired.
that lobsters had to be 3 1/4 to 5 inches to keep them.
I think the most interesting thing I learned was that there was a 50-pound lobster.
It's a big lobster.
Oh, a big lobster! That's like killer lobster, dinosaur lobster stuff.
200 years old.
Dinosaur lobster stuff right there. But I don't know, what are we doing now? Are we going back into town or?
Yeah.
I think we're gonna go back into town. I don't know what we're gonna do when we get there, but we're gonna do something.
Probably spend more money.
Probably spend more money, yeah, that's fair. And then eat some more food.
Yeah.
Not sure what we're gonna eat yet, but I haven't had lobster yet, so we may do that. I don't know, but we'll figure it out. Again, we are on the long trek from Maine back to New York where we're going to stay the night and then hop a flight, hopefully not miss it this time, to back to Atlanta. We'll drive home from there. But I wanted to say, first of all, that I will be finishing Let Him In on our trek home, so I will let you guys know about that. But there are so many watch for moose signs on these roads, yet I have not seen a single moose, and I really want to see a moose. Why are there no moose?
Should be a moose.
There should be a moose. Like, I don't understand why there's no moose, but anyway, that's literally all I had to complain about. I just really want to see a moose, and I've yet to see a single moose. We did get to see some seals. We did get to see a lot of birds.
Porpoises.
Porpoises?
Yeah, saw some porpoises.
Oh, we did see some porpoises. Saw some porpoises, saw some ducks, saw some geese. Did see a couple of deer, but no moose, no bear,
No puffin.
no puffin, no whales. Apparently all of those were gone for the season. I don't know. I don't feel like moose should be gone for the season. But anyway, I'm hoping that David will let me eat soon. You're gonna let me eat soon, right? Maybe. Hungry. Hangry.
It's possible.
I want to eat soon. So I'm gonna go so I can annoy the crap out of him to give me food.
Underneath your wind I soar. Wasted, I feel wasted.
Good morning, friends. It is currently 4:35 in the morning and we are about to leave to catch our flight, and I am tired, but it's been such a good trip. I am excited to be going home to see Ollie and Bryn and to just honestly sleep in my own bed. I am pretty excited to sleep in my own bed, but I am exhausted. It is early and we did probably not go to bed as early as we should have. So I'm going to go hurry up, David. We're going to get out of here and I will talk to you guys when we get home. It's early. He's not having it. Okay, so I have stopped at Starbucks, obviously. I got me a venti vanilla sweet cream cold brew because I needed that in my life after the morning that we have had. The morning, like the flight and everything was fine. It was just getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go get on a flight was not fun. And the TSA line for this one, where we waited 3 hours in Atlanta, was literally like 30 minutes for this flight. So anyway, it was much faster. We did not have to be there as early as we did, but I was not missing another flight. So I am in the car headed home, and I wanted to give you guys a quick update on Let Him In by William Friend. I liked this one. I think it's going to end up being a 3-star. It just was not a favorite of mine. I think I had really high hopes for it, and it ended up just not quite being what I expected it to. It was good at parts and not my favorite at others. The domestic parts I just really didn't love, but the creepy moments were creepy, and I thought that those were well done. However, the ending kind of lost me a little bit. It felt like it was just throwing things in there that it had mentioned briefly before, but now it was like this big deal, but there wasn't enough lead up and not even explanation for it, but just not enough lead up to it. It was like, we mentioned it in the beginning and then we don't talk about it again, but we talk about all this other stuff and then we mention it again at the end, and it has a little bit of a role to play, but so does this other stuff. And I don't know, it just kind of bounced around, and it felt like it was trying to pull in too many different things and not really succeeding at any of them, and logically just not working from that regard. Because for a horror book, if it doesn't logically makes sense in the way that like real world functions do, that's fine, but I need to be able to see the linear progression of the story, and I felt like I didn't see the linear progression to the ending that we got, if that makes sense. So I think it's going to end up being a lower 3-star. It was generally fine, but it just wasn't quite what I hoped it was going to be. That's okay. So I think that that's all the reading that I'm going to get done in this vlog, though. I am going to head home. Once I'm home, we will wrap up everything and I will close out this vlog.
And after that whirlwind, we are home. I am back with the babies. I am so glad to be home with them. It's been a long week without them, but I had a spectacular time. As you guys already know, I did give it Let Him In 3 stars. I'm still waiting on Lexi to read it. She was supposed to be buddy reading it with me, but Lexi. That's okay. I am excited to talk to her about the thoughts when we finish up, because she's not as big of a stickler when it comes to logic, so I'm interested to see exactly what she thinks of it. But we had a great time going through New York and meeting them, and then going to Salem and Sleepy Hollow and then Bar Harbor, and we actually took a detour through New Hampshire and Vermont on the way home. And honestly, I think the prettiest part of the trip that was just the most gorgeous, quintessential, amazing fall vibes, was actually in New Hampshire. We were in the middle of nowhere, and I could not tell you like where we were, where we traveled through. I know we went across the bottom part of the state into Vermont, but it was absolutely gorgeous, and I would love to take a trip just to those 2 states to be in like the fall vibes one day. But I think my favorite city out of the ones that we like stopped and did things in, I don't know. I really liked Sleepy Hollow just for the vibes. Salem was probably the most like hoppin' fun, but Bar Harbor was also really pretty. So I don't know if I could choose a favorite place that we went. Probably Salem. We stopped in Portsmouth to eat. I actually really liked Portsmouth. So make of that what you will. But we are home. I am home. I am glad to be here. I'm going to toss on some football and just enjoy my couch for a little while. Thank you guys so very much for hanging out with me. If you enjoyed this vlog and just want to let me know that you were here, leave me a leaf emoji, because this was all about the vibes and enjoying fall and seeing some fall scenery. So leave me a leaf emoji if you want to let me know that you were here. As always, links to my Instagram, Patreon, Twitter, and Goodreads are down in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe if you want to, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.